Welcome to this second video, this one on removing our RadRunner 1 bike, which is by Rad Power Bikes, and from the Hollywood 2021 bike rack. Again, very easy to put on, take off, but there's a couple of tricks that I've been introduced to and I learned as well by my own experience that I thought I would share with you. The first is I'm taking off this secondary lock that some might think unnecessary, but it just makes me feel a little more comfortable when I know that I have another attached lock to the frames of the bike. So, first thing that I do is to unlock these attached bars to these, the bars, adapter bars. And it's sideways, that means that it's not being able to push in to undo. And I turn up both of them out of, this is in the unlocked position when they are vertical. Okay, so I'm going to first take this particular bar off and I press the button and slide it up, taking it off. And then the next step is to take the straps off, but as I told you in placing them on, it's much easier when you lift up this wheel a bit in order to get this out so that it does not put pressure against your chain. So I lift up and take this out. Now also remembering that I have my kickstand up, and just as precaution, I put it back in its spot, and then I'm always tempted to use this, but this is not a good way to lift your bike. And take this out. Oh, I forgot to take the strap out. That's again part of the video, is reminding us of how little steps matter in both putting on and taking off. And I'm hoping that my little foibles are helpful to you, because you recognize that we're all vulnerable to little ways of making mistakes putting something on. Nothing major, but again, just little tricks. So the next step on this particular bike is to take this bar off as well. Have it unlocked, slides up very easily, and now it's detached. So I'm going to lift up as I take this into the I got it out of the receiver, and lift up and pull this out again so that it's not hitting on this, which we discovered when we were trying to do it previously after it was already settled in. So you want to have those bars off. Now that is detached, and notice how stiff they are, which is good because that means they're really sturdy and strong. So now before I lift this bike off, I have to once again put the bar down. I turned it facing up, comes out, and remembering when you push down it's locked, up is to release, and I'm putting this bar down, and then I'm going to lift the back off first. This is the heaviest part of the bike, and it swivels. Now again, I just put down the kicks, put up the kickstand, and then also put the bike here as well. Now, one of the last couple steps is going to be putting the bike rack in a position that if you're going to take these off and want to drive with your rack, you've already got this down. And I generally will put all of the straps into the receivers so that they're not dangling, scraping on the road as well. And then on this particular one, the first thing that I'm going to do is right here is detach this safety pin from this side, and then pulling it straight out. And all I have to do is lift this bar slightly, takes the pressure off, and it comes out very easily. Now, when I was putting it down, I pulled on this pin to bring it down, but now I'm pulling on this pin and just lifting up ever so slightly that it releases it. And once you put it up, it snaps into place. Now, again, last part is making sure you put your safety pins back in. They're not dangling. Putting that back on, and voila, we're back in business to drive without the bikes on your car. And again, I'm so glad that you could join me about the RadRunner 1 bike and the Hollywood 2021 Ebike bike rack that I got through as well. Oh, yes, final step again. Unless you want to keep them on in your, if you think you're going to be driving, you can leave these on. But if you're going to be riding around home, like I will be doing shortly, I will take this off first. Or actually, it's this one. It's easier to take the big one off first because you have the most play there, and then lifting this up and pressing this gold button, and it clicks down. Okay, I don't know if I'm not pushing the button correctly here. Okay, there we go. There we go, and then it comes off as well. So if you have to be a little nimble of fingers of picking these off. Again, taking the front one off first, pressing the gold button, pushing down to release, or this one coming up. And it depends on which way you've put it. You might notice sometimes you put a bar on upside down and it can be up or down, and it can matter somewhat on this because you have a little bit more play when you are when you have a seat lower like this. And so it comes up. Let's see here. Oh, I know. Doing it on this side makes it a little easier. That's right. So it clears the seat on this side. So again, those are the little tricks that are difficult at times to explain, but by experience you'll catch on. And as not very experienced in this is a whole different ball game than previously loading on our lighter bikes onto a different kind of bike rack. So again, thank you for participating with me or experiencing this, the Rad Power bike. This is the RadRunner 1 and the Hollywood Bike Rack 2021. Thank you, and good and safe travels.